Hey amigos, I am Spanish-Welsh comedian Ignacio Lopez, and this is a new podcast, Comedy Sheep Side Gig. Featuring guests from the world of entertainment, sports, journalism, music, and stand-up comedy. Mainly stand-up comedy because comedy is my life. Weekly chats with guests about what they do, what they used to do for a living, and a bunch of other irrelevant horse. New episodes every Monday. My first guest is Welsh shot putter and bobsledder Adelé Nicoll. Is that right? Bobsledder. Okay. Adelé, who the fuck are you and what do you do?
So I'm Adelé Nicoll and I'm a bobsleigh pilot for Great Britain.
That's wild. That's so exciting. How would you describe your job to a 5-year-old?
Oh, I was gonna say fucking mental, and then I was like, probably not.
Yeah, the 5-year-old in question is from like
a respectable family.
I was gonna say Merthyr Tydfil or something.
Oh, they will.
They'd be like, fucking yeah.
So to a 5-year-old, I'd say I go sledging for a living and I get paid for it.
That's incredible. I think that would lead more 5-year-olds to go, that's what I want to do when I'm older.
Cool.
How on earth do you get into bobsledding? Because like, did somebody catch you just like your car had broken down and you were pushing it down the hill or something? Like, how did that happen?
No, I was actually just posting some videos of me training on Instagram.
Yeah.
And one of the girls that was involved at the time dropped me a message and she said, in a nice way, she basically said, fucking hell, you're a big, strong girl. Do you want to give this a go? And I just thought, yeah, why not? I just say yes to all opportunities and see where it leads me.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's incredible. So it's 2 members on a bobsled team, is that right?
So the women actually can do single person, so monobob.
Wow. 2
women, and the men do 2-man and 4-man.
2-man and 4-man. So okay, great. And you're in a team with 2 of you?
So I do both. I do single and 2.
Oh wow! Is the single one a lot more stressful?
It's different. I would actually say the 2-person is probably more stressful because I'm responsible for getting the person down safely.
Yeah, sure, okay. It's like with yourself, you're just risking your own life.
Yeah,
but
and if I flip myself upside down, it is what it is.
How long have you been doing that for?
So I was actually a brake woman, which is the person that's at the back of the sled, responsible for getting the thing moving, in 2021 and 2022. And then I learned how to drive after the Beijing Olympic Games.
Right.
So I've been driving a sled for 3 years now, and in February at the next Olympic Games, it'll be a full cycle.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, it's cool that they call it pilot as well.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's because there's a risk of it taking off.
Imagine. I think that it's such a skill to be able to drive a bobsleigh. Yeah. I've never really thought about why they call it a pilot, but yeah, I'm a driver, I'm a pilot. Yeah.
It's a cool term. I think it makes it sound immediately. I mean, bobsledding in general, obviously made famous by Cool Runnings.
Yeah, the most unrealistic film ever. The fact they pick it up on their shoulders at the end, I'm thinking there is no fucking way we can do that.
Especially not those guys, because Hollywood, like, they're all smaller than they look on screen as well. So there's no chance.
No way.
I don't think I'd heard of bobsledding until I saw that movie. Yeah. It's certainly not something we're aware of in Spain. You know?
Oh, do you know what? No. Big up Leanne. She actually is starting a Spanish bobsleigh team. I swear. So she's I think I might not get this right, but she was Canadian. Yeah. So she's actually now changed and registered to Spain. So she's actually going to be, I assume, probably the first Spanish bobsledder.
That's incredible. Right? Yeah. Get my cousin on the phone.
Yeah.
We're going to Laura, come on. We're going to do it. You're going to be on the bobsled team. We're going to make it happen. The thing is, like, most winter sports aren't big in Spain, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I grew up playing, like, basketball, volleyball, football and stuff. So for bobsledding to be a thing, like I said, Cool Runnings is the first experience I had of it. I met you. You were in the first row of a comedy club.
Yeah, big mistake.
You say that, but we had a good time.
Yeah,
we did. We had fun. But like, you were with, is it your part?
Yeah.
So we like looked, I think the MC was like asking questions, like turning around. And we're like, what on earth, like, you guys must be models, right? And he was.
Actually is, yeah.
And so
I'm the ugly one.
Don't be ridiculous. We genuinely thought both of you like models. Okay, that was the first impression we got. We're like, have they been paid to be in the front row to make the Glee Club look nicer for a change? You know.
Please come.
But it was cool. Like we chatted to you, and as soon as you said bobsled, people give fake answers at comedy clubs all the time.
You thought there's no way.
Backstage, we were all like, she's
She's
full of shit. There is
what a
no
fucking liar.
Welsh bobsled
Do you know why as well though? It was so strange. 'Cause I think it was Tom was on that night, but he was just taking the piss out of winter sports people being snobby.
Yes,
and then he
right.
said, "What do you do for a living?" And I was like, "Oh." But actually, bobsledders are the like scum. Like we are the scum. We get looked down on.
Yeah, okay. You guys are like the what do you call it? Like you've stolen your vehicle kind of thing. You know,
and we're running away with it as fast as we can.
Get away, yeah, for sure. Is there? I mean, when you look at bobsledding, who are the big rivals? Who are the killers at bobsledding?
Oh, Germans.
It is the Germans.
Yeah, they've just got such good engineering that in bobsleigh you're not necessarily able to just purchase any equipment. So Germany don't have their equipment available to anybody else.
Wow.
It's
kind of like F1 sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's the manufacturer's part of the
Same
team.
with the American team. So the American team and the German team have amazing engineering, and they're constantly developing new equipment.
Right.
The rest of us are just fighting for the scraps.
Yeah, you're working with like Port Albert Steel or something, trying to put something together.
You joke. I had a sponsorship a couple of years ago from Tata Steel.
Unbelievable.
And they made me some wheels to wheel the bobsleigh round on.
Kidding?
Yeah, it's cool.
They are involved a lot in sport because they own so much Tata as well.
Yeah.
I think they own Land Rover. Can we check that? Jose, the producer.
check.
Every now and again, I get him. Is that true? Is that a thing? Otherwise, we'll cut it out.
Yeah.
You know. I think they own Land Rover and Jaguar. You know, you could have
That's so
Jaguar
random.
bobsled. Why not?
Yeah.
That'll be cool. So you before bobsledding, you were. Is correct, yeah? They own Land. Okay, well that's it. I think we need a Land Rover sticker on the bobsled from now on. Maybe you get a better quality bobsled. You know, we'll see. It'd be good for all terrain anyway.
It could be comfier anyway.
Is it? It's got to be
Oh
uncomfortable,
my god,
right?
yeah. I'll have to show you a picture after the back of the sled. It's
basically
literally
a
just
Ryanair flight.
probably more room in the bobsled than there is in the Ryanair flight. But yeah, it's essentially just carbon fiber. There's no soft edges. It's carbon fiber. It's a frame, and you're in there, and you got to enjoy the ride, whether it be a bumpy one or a smooth one.
Is there specific tracks that are your? Do they call them tracks?
Yeah.
Are they specific tracks that are kind of your favorite? They're like that's the one. It's smooth. It's nice. Good ride.
Yeah, I think that I actually enjoy driving the hard tracks because it's fun.
It's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a challenge. I wouldn't say my teammates enjoy all of the hard tracks because in the back they'll definitely feel it. Maybe more so than I would.
Are they getting the bumps more?
Yeah,
at the back?
so they'll feel the quality of the ice.
Yeah.
Sometimes the ice is that bad that my head is shaking and like everything's blurry, and I've just got to try and drive off of that muscle memory and like that visualization. One time actually, so the lock of my helmet was like on the front, and the cowling, like I sit like this close to the front of the sled, and I see about this much over, and I knocked my head and it popped my visor up, and the wind took underneath my visor and took my head back on a big corner that was like a 3 pressure corner in Latvia, and that's where you've got to just remember how to drive the corner, because I couldn't see, and I also couldn't lift my head up because the G-force was so strong.
So you're just going by muscle memory. Wow, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I think we nearly sold bobsledding to everyone, and then everyone was like, you could lose your fucking head over this. You know?
Absolutely not.
Holy shit, okay.
Yeah.
So before bobsledding, you were training for what? I know you do shot put as well.
Yeah.
British champion.
Yeah, 2-time British champion in the women's shot put event. I always get told I don't look like a shot putter. Sometimes compliments, sometimes get pissed off because I'm like, you guys don't understand the event. Like, throwing events are power events, and it's the same with the bobsleigh. You know, essentially it's about redirecting the force application through an implement, whether that's a throwing implement or a sled.
Yeah.
And I'm just good at generating force quickly.
It's nice to hear like the science behind it, because you just think about like caveman mentality of like, will you just throw something really hard, right? But obviously, otherwise then the sport would be carnage and it would be going everywhere. But there's a science to it.
It's so technical. It's all about rhythm, coordination, like the proprioception of your body, and essentially like it's a 4 kilogram shot put, the women's shot put. So once you get moving, it's not that heavy.
Right.
So thinking that I need to have a ridiculous bench press is just ignorant, but I do have a ridiculous bench press, FYI.
I don't need it.
You don't need it, but I have
But
one.
I have it, okay? That's good to know. Is
Yeah.
it, I mean, have you ever completely cocked it up and it's gone the completely wrong direction?
Oh, yeah.
That's why they have like the netting and stuff.
No, so in shot put they don't.
Oh.
So in discus and hammer they do,
Right.
but in shot put they don't. So if you do just mess it up, it just goes out the sector. So people have got to be watching. Yeah, you got to have your eyes
get
on
hit
it.
with one of those.
Oh
do
my
you?
God, no, goners, absolutely gone. And end of.
Yeah. Is it? How long were you training for in shot put then before you competed?
So I actually started athletics when I was about 9. That was just from whooping ass and sports day. I just loved it, like everything, like running, jumping, throwing. And then
Do they have like scouts at sports day and stuff?
no, but one of my PE teachers was a coach at an athletics club.
Yeah.
So she told me to go along. I did. And then I was competing at open meetings around the UK. And I will always thank my parents for doing this, but they actually used to look on the rankings and take me around the UK to I was going to say fight, to race girls that were
Okay.
faster than me.
Yeah, but if you do beat them up before, then they
Yeah,
can't race.
but
so
then they can't race and they will lose. And that's the Welsh way anyway. So, no, so my dad used to look at where the fast girls were, take me to race them to learn how to lose.
Wow.
Yeah, so real character building, probably not suitable in today's society with the participation counts.
I don't know. That's such a good. I mean, that makes you winners. That's what creates winners, I think. And it is. I talk about this all the time in comedy as well. But you need to learn how to have like thick skin really early on, because if a joke doesn't work or if an audience doesn't like you, you need to dig deep and sort of get out of that. Similar in sports. I use sports analogies all the time, even though I can't play anything for shit. All right, so comedy is my sport. That's what I use. Where did you grow up? Where are you from?
Mid Wales,
Whereabouts?
in Welshpool.
Okay, yeah, sure. I know
You
Welshpool.
know?
Yeah, of course. I
Really?
gigged everywhere. Are you serious?
You've not gigged in
I have-
Welshpool.
of
There
course
is
I've
no
gigged in
fucking
Welshpool.
way.
Yes, I
Where?
am.
In the
There's a-
car park?
In the car park of Welshpool. That is true. I've played a few car parks in my time, actually. Yeah, it makes for a quick getaway if the jokes aren't
Nice.
working. No, there is a theatre in Welshpool. I've gigged in a little theatre in Welshpool.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's I'll look it up. Actually, Josie, can you look up the name of the theatre in Welshpool? Because I've played there. Because when I first played there, I was like, that's not the name of this place.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
not really
lie.
that's,
What a
you
made
know,
up place.
Yeah, this isn't, for starters, this isn't a pool, you know?
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like an Olympic pool or something.
No.
Yeah. No, it's a was it? Powers Theatre. It's probably Powers Theatre.
Powers,
then.
that's in Newtown, isn't it?
Maybe.
Haffron, that's in Newtown. You've
Ah.
not been to Welshpool. It's
I would
even
have gone through it.
smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even smaller.
Okay.
The High Street is actually smaller than an Olympic pool, so
It's 24 meters.
Yeah.
It's not a full 20 or 50 meters.
a few charity shops, few kebab houses.
Yeah,
it's about
they're
it.
all vape shops now, actually. If
Yeah.
you drive through, it's like 8 vape shops.
Yeah, vape, pub,
Charity vape shops.
second-hand vapes.
That's the next stage, I think, of the Welsh economy. It's going to be second-hand vape shops. So you grew up in Welshpool. So, I mean, you had to travel to different places
Yeah.
to
So
compete
I
in
actually ended up getting scouted by a coach who coached at a club in Birmingham,
Okay.
Birchfield Harriers, and he said, you know, you look like you've got a lot of talent. Do you want to come over to the dark side, essentially?
Yeah.
In Birmingham. Ugh. I'm joking. I'm actually still with that club now.
Oh, wow.
And I went over and my dad used to take me from Mid Wales to Birmingham 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah, sit in the car, listen to whatever was on the radio, I guess. But yeah, I actually represented Great Britain for the first time when I was 16 at a World Youth Championships in the shot put. And
Where was it?
Ukraine.
You went out to Ukraine?
Yeah.
Right. At just the right time, actually.
Yeah, the
I
airport
wouldn't wanna
doesn't
compete
exist.
there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think not long after we'd flown there, the airport was bombed.
Holy
so
shit.
yeah, experience.
Yeah. I mean, the shot put could have come in handy then. It could be like anti-missile shot put or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was training for the war actually.
Yeah. That's exciting, though, that you got to go do something like that at 16 years of age, get to go to a different country and compete.
Yeah, I've travelled so much. It's great.
Is there a... Germans are the biggest rivals in bobsled.
Yes.
Who are the shot put masters?
At the moment, Chase Jackson is American. She's world lead as well as a girl from Canada called Sarah Mitten.
Okay.
That's
a good name for a shot put, mitten.
Yeah.
It kind of like, does she wear gloves when she does it, like little, mittens?
Yeah, those two girls are probably my two biggest idols in the sport at the moment. And actually, like, I'm lucky enough to have a personal friendship with Chase. So
Cool.
I've trained with her a few times and it's really inspirational, learning a lot from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it, I mean, as far as rivalries go, what because you're all kind of, even though you're competing, it's like a kind of fraternity as well, like you're all friends. And
I mean, at the moment, I'm definitely not on Chase's radar. Do you know what I mean? She'll be competing with the best in the world at the moment. Although I believe at some stage I will be able to get there in athletics. I have to kind of focus on bobsleigh at the minute, otherwise I'll mess everything up.
Sure.
But yeah, the way that the girls interact on the circuit, especially in the throwing events, is really nice. There is definitely a friendship there, whereas I'm not sure if that's the same across all events.
Do you obviously you started so young? Are most of your friends now in athletics and sports like this, or do you still have friends who are outside of that stuff too?
I'd say that I've formed some of my strongest relationships through sport, but there are some friends that I've made in university that are still like my sisters. Like, it's really lovely. So one of my friends is traveling at the minute. She's in New Zealand. One of my other friends, she works in London, but she comes back to Cardiff sometimes. So yeah, it's nice. I still have some friends from uni that really hate sport, and it's actually quite nice to speak to them sometimes.
It's refreshing, just if you need to get out of your headspace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they understand? I mean, obviously, if they hate sport, are they morning people? I imagine you have to be a morning person if you're going to be training in sports and stuff.
Yeah, I think that my friends are also individual. I've never really been a part of like a girl group, and I don't know whether that's just because of my like tomboy side. Like, I just can't be asked. Like, I've got a lot of like really good individual friends from different areas of life.
Well, I mean, typically on a training day, what sort of time do you get up? What's your schedule look like?
It really depends every day. Sleep is massive for me. Like, I'm a 9-hour girl every night. Yeah, and if I don't get 9 hours, then I'm going to struggle and probably need a little nap in the day.
Siesta, I'm telling you, everybody should have siesta.
Yeah, I'm all for that. But I'll get up, have breakfast. I always wake up starving as well. Like, breakfast is my favourite. But yeah, breakfast, and then go to do session number 1, and then some lunch and probably admin. Like, I've got my own children's academy business in Mid Wales. So
nice.
Athletics.
In Welshpool?
Yeah.
Cool.
So athletics every week, and summer and Easter camps. So we've got a summer camp coming up. And I also do a lot of public speaking, and I get booked for different corporate events and school events. Yeah. So I'll do like admin then between sessions, and then I'll do session number 2, and then come home, and then I love to cook, so I'll take some time to cook. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I love to cook, but I never have time. I'm always on the road, so.
Yeah, that's a shame.
One of the fun things is when I am home, I really like to kind of spend time in the kitchen. What's your meal of choice? What do you love to make?
I really like, because I'm a foodie, and actually I lost 3 stone to be able to race in bobsleigh, so I had to learn how to enjoy food and make it healthy. Right. So I really enjoy just making tasty dishes that have healthy alternatives. So I like making burgers at home, but fresh ones, because it's kind of like you feel like you're having like a treat, but there's nothing bad about having a homemade burger.
Sure. Okay. Which what kind of things are you substituting in a burger? Because it's basically just a meat patty, right?
Yeah, I think it's just like when it's not processed, so you're getting like the fresh meat, you're getting like, instead of having fries that have been coated and in oil and like fried to death, you're cutting fresh potatoes, like part boiling them and then putting them in the oven, seasoning them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. No, well, I don't focus on the health aspect of my cooking at all, but
Fair
fortunately
enough.
most Spanish food is relatively healthy,
Yeah,
because we're using kind of fresh ingredients and things, which is tasty. I mean, because you've been doing sports for so long, have there been any other jobs you've done outside of sort of athletics and things?
Yeah, so I've actually got a master's degree in psychology.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was...
Switch the cameras off. I'm about to get some free therapy right now. Okay, that's what we're doing.
Oh no, you're fucked.
And that is your professional diagnosis with your masters. You're fucked.
Oh God, I'll probably lose any job I had anyway, saying that. Sorry.
You got a master's in psychology?
Yes, I have.
How have you used that? What have you
implemented? So before I started bobsleigh, was sure that I was going to go on to do my doctorate in clinical psych or forensic psych. So I actually did my master's degree on forensic psychology and recidivism rates in the UK. So like reoffending and like the effectiveness of prison sentence lengths and things.
Incredible.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. And then I actually went on to, when I was self-funded, which I was for the first Olympic Games. So I've only been professional for the last couple of years. In the UK, it's like you win medals before you're funded.
I was going to say, it's got to be uncommon that you'd be self-funded, right?
Well, in the UK with Olympic sport, it's difficult. You can be put on like a podium potential funding, but essentially you could be somebody like myself that came into a sport with having a really good athletic foundation from another sport, and because I hadn't proved myself in the new sport, I didn't qualify for funding.
Okay.
but I had the potential, and we all knew I had the potential, but it was a case of got to go and do it, and then you'll get the money.
Right.
So I was working my arse off to get myself to that first Olympic Games, and I was working 12-hour shifts on the bank, like rota for a psychiatric hospital.
Wow.
So I was going to different hospitals in the UK to work on wards with mental health patients.
Yeah. Fuck. That's such an intense job to be doing, and balancing any sport or anything around it as well. Was it, I mean, I know people in the health professions and stuff, it's got to have some sort of weight on you as well, right?
Yeah, some days would be amazing. They'd be so rewarding. You know, you'd know that you'd finished your shift and you'd made such a difference to somebody's day. But then other days it would be also emotionally draining on yourself and just tiring, because you're giving your best at work, and sometimes, you know, these people are struggling, they're unwell, so it is difficult. But I think I had no choice, essentially, because I needed part-time work that was flexible so that I could go away. And obviously with the NHS, they do like a bank situation where you can put your name into a bank of people, and then you can pick your shifts, so you're not necessarily like contracted.
Sure.
And that just worked perfectly.
That's quite flexible. That's quite useful. I guess there's such a demand, like they have to kind of accommodate people who are able.
Yeah, they always need these people that they're either agency or bank, they're called. So yeah, people that just pick up shifts to help make sure that there's enough staff on the wards.
Sure.
Yeah, so it worked at the time.
Have you managed to use your psychology in any way in your sport kind of training and stuff as well?
Yeah, for myself, massively. I think that post graduating and finding my feet properly in sport, I realised the power of accountability,
right,
and the power of your own actions, and the fact that actually the sooner you stop putting so much power into external like people or environments, and you take control over everything, whether that's good or bad. So you have to be able to put your hands up and be like, yeah, I fucked up, do it differently, you know. But the longer you blame other people, the longer you blame something else, like you'll never progress. And I think as soon as I owned that and really understood the power of accountability, that's when I actually got so much better. With
relation to the kind of what you were working on while you were doing your master stuff, which was in the criminal, what do they call it?
Forensic.
Yeah, forensic. Yeah. And then trying to get people, stop them repeat offending and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I was actually doing some volunteering in Cardiff Prison.
Is it Clink that they had?
Yeah, they used to. It's not.
It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But I've seen they've implemented it in other places as well. But Cardiff was the first place I'd heard that they'd done that. Yeah. And you were volunteering there.
So not there. I was actually in the main prison. So I'd do some work with the like social team, and then also in the visitation centre.
Sure.
And then I had not long started that role whilst I was doing my proposal for my research for my master's, and then COVID came and I couldn't do it how I originally wanted to do it. So I then had to get different participants, and I actually ended up having ex-convicts rather than currently convicted people.
I mean, was it any kind of, I'm just going by movies here. We've heard Cool Runnings, of course, you know. Was there how close to sort of prison movies is the real kind of prison experience when you go in there?
Oh, I've watched so many, so I guess it depends what you've watched. Like, if you're watching Prison Break, you know, it's like, well, some of the things are a little far-fetched to make the series,
you
know,
know,
more
clocking
enjoyable.
people's tattoos and going, does it look like a map?
Like, no, it's just a shit tattoo they got in Malia. Like, it's not a map. Probably to find their way home to their Airbnb. Or their Chinese order, I don't know. But it's not a map to escape. So it's interesting. But I actually recently visited Alcatraz in San Francisco.
I've been there as well.
Yeah, amazing.
Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, I'm reading a book at the minute. I'm almost finished, but it's I believe, the only autobiography to come out of Alcatraz.
Wow.
Of one of the prisoners, yeah.
It's it was completely mind-blowing going to that place, because obviously you see countless movies about it. Escape from Alcatraz, the most famous one, and Clint Eastwood and stuff. It's incredible place. And did you do like the audio tour of it and stuff? So spooky. You feel like you're in a movie.
Yeah,
it's really well produced.
Yeah.
And you're wandering through and you can hear all of these.
I'd love to do like a real
sounds.
Life experience there. Do you know what I mean? As if like there was actually prisoners there.
Yeah,
because
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was insane.
There's have you heard of a thing in the UK called Alcatraz?
Is that when where you can go and drink and have like the prison overalls on?
And I think so I was telling somebody there was a breakdown in communication. I was like, I went to Alcatraz, and they were like, oh, it's great, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, and I hadn't heard of Alcatraz. And they were like, yeah, and you go in, you have drink. I was like, I don't think there was a bar. in Alcatraz. Like, they gave us a tour of the kitchen and we saw where the prisoners made food, and this fight broke out and there was a stabbing stuff there, and they were like, which one did you go to? And I was like, San Francisco. They were like, I went to the Liverpool one. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh my God.
To be honest, I think the Liverpool Alcatraz would have been more violent than
yeah, that would have been an interesting one.
Yeah, Scousers don't mess around.
Oh no, I got some Scousers in my family. Yeah.
Oh, do you really make sense? Welshpool, Liverpool.
Yeah, it's
the
close.
combo, the pool dynasty.
Yeah, Mid Wales, North Wales, and Liverpool are very connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a. I mean, the Beatles. I think some of them came from Welsh Street or something.
Oh yeah, probably.
In Liverpool. Yeah, there's big connections there, which is fun. Which so are your family predominantly Welsh? Like you said, you got some Scousers in there too?
Yeah, so some of my dad's side of the family are from Liverpool, but predominantly everybody's Welsh. So my dad and his parents, Welshpool born and bred. My mum, her family originally are from a small town village called Llanfyllin.
Okay.
So half of her family are first language Welsh.
Right.
And then her dad was from London. So yeah, I think that's where the breakdown in speaking Welsh came from, because he didn't understand.
Yeah.
So then it kind of never got passed on through us.
And they didn't understand Cockney, so you just had to get like a kind of
just sign language to each other.
When you're like sledding,
yeah.
Are you using like visual cues to each other? Or are you speaking to each other?
No,
you mic'd up?
Just to confirm, we don't sit in bathtubs and lean to
Right.
practice. Like, that's fucking bullshit. Sorry to ruin your fantasies of bobsleigh, but yeah, no, the person in the back needs to know the track just to be able to go with the sled, and essentially if they're fighting the direction of the sled, they could put the sled into a skid.
Okay.
Which is obviously really bad for time. Like, skidding in bobsleigh is worse than taking a tap.
Right.
Yeah, because it just is like a break. You're going sideways. So the person in the back does need to know the track, but essentially once they've loaded into the sled after the first 50 meters at the start,
they're kind of at the pilot's mercy.
Yeah. And also, you would not believe the amount of people that think that there's grooves all the way down the track. Okay. Like, what the fuck would be the point of my job? Like, what, do you think I just sit there and just watch? Like, I have to actually choose the line. It's the same as F1. You have to choose the fastest line.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. So yeah, it's not like you get on just like flick autopilot and just sit back and
relax. There's no steering wheel. Like, it's two D-rings that are attached with wire and bungee to steering arms.
Okay.
And then the steering arms move left or right, forwards and backwards, depending on which one you pull, and then that turns the steering head.
Right.
So that then underneath the sled, the blades will move with the steering head. And then the back runners are on a stiff axle, so that just follows the front.
Right. I think, do you know Oakwood? Have you ever been to Oakwood?
Yeah.
Which is closing down. I hate to break this to people, but
I know. People are so soft, aren't they? Like, a few bumps and bruises.
Couple of deaths.
Few deaths, nothing.
I don't know if we're going to be able to put this in the podcast, but I went to Oakwood. Obviously, I went a few times as a child. Whenever we were visiting Wales, it was the fun thing to do in summer.
Of course.
And my mom took me to Oakwood, and they just opened up the water ride, Hydro. And, I went on it, and it was called Hydro Water's Revenge. That was the name of the ride, and it was all like spikes, making it look scary. We went on there, I got completely drenched, Then you got to stand in the dryer.
The shit dryer that you paid
£2
for.
It's just like somebody's going... What is this? Like, I'm still completely soaked. So I bought a Hydro T-shirt that said, that's why they did it. The dryers don't work. So they're like, buy some merchandise. Yeah. Hydro, Water's Revenge. I had that T-shirt. A week later, a girl dies on that ride. And they were like, what are we going to do about this ride? And then the next time I went to Oakwood, they'd rebranded it. It's like, Hydro, water's fun. And it was all bubbles instead of spikes. But it's the same ride.
It's the same ride.
It's exactly the same ride.
They've just like put a different branding on it.
It's, that's like taking anything like scary, like the London Dungeon or something. It's like, now we're calling it the London Cave Experience. It's still a dungeon, you know.
Just sugarcoating it.
Yeah, that's I think Oakwood's got a lot to answer for when it comes to people's impression of the bobsled because of the toboggan thing.
Yeah.
You're not steering it, you just speed. That's all you get
it's
to
on
choose.
a track that's just going in one. Yeah,
exactly.
It's true. But I absolutely love theme parks. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah,
for sure.
What's your favorite one?
I love Alton Towers because it's just the biggest theme park.
Oblivion?
Yeah,
such a good ride.
Yeah, I'm like so I'll go with my family and be like, fuck you guys, I'm going on the single person's queue because I can go on way
multiple
more.
times.
This is a family day out, but winners win.
That's the competitive sport nature in you. You're like, I'm going to lap you.
Yeah, winners win, losers lose. See you later.
You lap them on oblivion.
See you, mum.
Where's my medal? At the end, everyone's queuing up for a key ring. You're like, come on now.
I'm
Top
like
podium.
elbowing kids out the way. Like, get out.
I love. Have you done Smiler yet?
Yeah. Smiler's a bit like rough for me. Like I like
It bumps the
yeah,
knee,
I like the stomach dropping, awful feeling. I love that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I went, but again, the reason I bring up Smiler up is because the week after I went on Smiler, there's a horrible accident on that.
Broke their legs or something.
Basically, if I've been on a roller coaster, don't go on it a week later. Okay, skip it for a month. Make sure they iron out the kinks. What? What would you say was the worst job you did before you got into, or even like during athletics? I get
the worst job. Yeah, I mean, I've had some pretty shitty jobs, but I've always wanted to just do well at whatever it is I'm doing. So I've convinced myself at the time that it's worth it.
Have you had any bad days in athletics? And what's the biggest cock up you've ever done when you've been doing either shot put or bobsled?
I mean, bobsleigh. One of my races in bobsleigh, I've run. It's a single person bobsleigh now. I've run. Actually, I'll tell you two stories. Single person bobsleigh. I've run and I've loaded into the sled, and what I've done is not checked my handles before I've jumped in.
Okay.
So in the single person sled, because you have to brake at the bottom as well, the brake sits in between your legs in the single person sled.
Right.
So what happened is one of the rings that I need to drive had hooked itself underneath my brake. So when I got in and I went to grab my steering rings, I only had one right one. And I thought, oh no. And then in my head, I'm thinking, how many corners until I'm going to really need this left one? Because I could get away when it's slow with like just pulling the wire.
Okay.
But I'm like, at some point, I'm going to need to get this ring out.
So is it just on the floor and you have to somehow...
It was like hooked under the brake, but like, it's so difficult to, I'm going to be gaining up to speeds of like 130 kilometers an hour and I need that D-ring. So I'm like trying to unhook it now as I'm going down. And like for the first portion of the track, I'm steering by pulling the wire, not anything in my actual hand, and that was just ridiculous.
That reminds me of when I'm driving and like I've dropped a coffee cup or something and I'm just rummaging around. Yeah, and I'm like, I hope nothing's up ahead because I'm going straight into the back of it because there's a reusable coffee cup underneath my brake.
Hey, but save the environment.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, bit more risk with you seeing a bobsled involved than me going into the back of a Ford Cortina or something.
Yeah, but again, at least it is only me on the track, so that is the good thing. Yeah. But in terms of the two women, this was recent. So I had been injured. I had actually ruptured one of the ligaments in my right ankle, and I'd been out for 8 to 10 weeks. And
that is a long time to be not doing the sport as well.
Not on my feet, not in spikes, like in a boot, with then into a brace. And I kind of got out of the brace first week of the World Cup starting. Okay. And being the athlete that I am, I was like, cool, I'm ready, let's go. And the coaches are like, you haven't been on your feet much. Like, are you sure you're ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Get my spikes. So I put my spikes on now, and this is in the 2-woman bobsleigh. So I'm on the side on the pilot bar, and because I just had so much time off my feet, all of the pre-season where you practice your loading, your timing, I hadn't had that. I went straight into the race, and I just mistimed my load. And what happened is I took 2 extra steps after switching my hands. So I switch my hands when I go to load in, and you have to load in as you switch, otherwise you're sideways. But I took 2 extra steps, and my left foot went under the sled, and I cut my left foot open.
Oh shit!
The blade went over it, but then you've got no choice. You've got to get in. So I'm like, holy fuck.
You're just filling it up with blood as you're going.
Well, I've jumped in, and it felt like a speed bump. So the person that was on the back of the sled also felt it, because the whole sled went up over it. It's like 175 kilos, like on the actual sled. So now I'm in the sled thinking, I just ran over my fucking foot. And I'm like, I ain't got time to think about this. Corner 1 is coming. Like, get your head in the game. And actually, interestingly, that run was pretty clean. I think I would.
That's the secret to bobsled success.
This is the adrenaline.
Split your foot open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, adrenaline. How long is a typical typical lap or race, or how long would it take usually?
It really depends on how long it is. Most tracks are between 14 to 20 corners.
Okay.
Every track is different. Every single track profile is different.
I'm just trying to figure out how long you were in that bobsled bleeding.
Yeah. It could be, I think around a minute.
A minute of blood loss.
Yeah, a minute. Yeah. And I got out and I was just like so confused. And then I was kind of like pointing at my foot. My spike was just ripped open because I don't wear socks in my spikes either. Because you lose a lot of proprioception through the ground if you wear socks.
Wow.
Yeah, so you watch now, if you watch the Olympics, majority of sprinters will not have socks on.
That's got to create some sweaty
some
boots,
stinky
some
shoes.
spikes, right?
But yeah, because of that, my spikes were mesh, so that it was cut straight through. Yeah, so then I ended up getting that stitched up, and I was out for another 4 weeks.
Oh no!
And I was actually in a boot on the left foot then. So yeah, that was not a good time for me.
Maybe it balanced it out, you know. Maybe it was kind of like got your body kind of used to. Oh, we've had it on one side, so you weren't lopsided or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, so where do you live now? You're based in Cardiff.
In Cardiff, yeah.
What have you? We obviously met at a comedy show, which was lots of fun. You know, and really enjoyed roasting you and your partner.
Thanks.
But what you said you love comedy.
Yeah.
You go to watch a lot of comedy shows. What's apart from that night, obviously, which was amazing? What's the best show you've seen in Wales? It doesn't have to be comedy. Anything.
I would say 2 experiences that stick in my mind is I was front row at Jack Whitehall.
No way.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Was that in the arena?
In the motor point, in the utility, in the utility arena. But that was amazing.
Is it called? I don't know. Is that what it's called now?
Utility arena, I think.
I'm
Never
still calling it the CIA. I don't care
Yeah.
how many times it gets sponsored by somebody else. It is the CIA.
It's the same with the Principality. It's always the Millennium.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then the other thing was recently. Do you know the beef that went on with like Kendrick Lamar and Drake when he wrote Not Like Us, the diss track?
Yes.
So I was at the Kendrick concert when Not Like Us was played, and like however many people there, like 70,000 people all singing the lyrics of Certified Pedophile, screaming it, and I was like, how has this man got everybody to it's just a catchy song? Like, I like Drake. Do you know what I mean? Well, I don't know him personally, but I like his music.
Sure.
But I was still, like, like, fuck you.
Wow.
But yeah, the energy was electric, and the only thing I do regret is not having got Oasis tickets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was at a competition the next day, so I went up the night before, and everyone was in Cardiff, and I do regret that.
There's it's funny because all I'm seeing now on social media is like videos of my friends at like Oasis concerts. Now, fortunately, I couldn't give a shit. Like, it's not my thing. I don't mind. Like, I will travel around the world to see Nine Inch Nails, my favorite band. Whereas like Oasis, I'm a bit like, take it or leave it. You know.
Actually, you just reminded me about something. Obviously, very, very sad news that Ozzy Osbourne passed away recently. Yeah. I saw him live in 2022 at the Commonwealth Games closing ceremony because it was in Birmingham. Oh, they brought Ozzy out.
That's incredible.
And that's one of the best things.
And Ozzy, that's just before he stopped touring as well. So 2023, I think, was his last sort of performance before his last concert he did.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's a cool experience.
Homegrown hero as well, Birmingham legend. That's very cool. With Commonwealth Games, when are they held? Is it a summer?
Yeah.
event?
So it's again Commonwealth Games every 4 years in the summer.
Yeah.
So there'll be one again 6 months after Milan Olympics.
Okay.
So I'll switch back into a different sport to do that. Yeah. I'm not sure if anyone else does that, but I like being different.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever been to any gigs where it's been painful, like any bad shows you've seen?
We love going to the Glee Club. We really do. And I think that sometimes I feel bad for some of the acts that are, because do you know what? Half the time it's not, it's not as the performer, it's not their fault, but the audiences can be such hard work. I feel so bad for like comedians because especially if like you're maybe not everybody's cup of tea, like, or you can't read a room to be able to change up on the spot. Like, I don't really know how rehearsed things are, but fuck, it must be so difficult when the audience just aren't buying it.
It varies from obviously gig to gig. Every gig can be completely different, right? So when I started, I was like, right, I have to be able to play to any room. Yeah. I need material for the drunk people who can't really listen. They need words to kind of like remind them what's going on, or I want to be able to play to the art center crowds or the older crowds,
or
younger
some like
stuff.
Intelligent things that like some people are gonna get and
straight
appreciate.
Over some people's heads, you know. I did a kids show on the weekend, and it's like what I love about kids is they really understand jokes. Lots of people do kids jokes kids shows, and they try and really dumb it down. But actually, kids are a lot smarter than you give them credit for. So I like doing jokes, and then you can see immediately, they laugh at the jokes, and they double laugh because they're so happy that they got it.
Yeah.
So whereas adults, if they don't get something, they're like, where was the joke there? It wasn't funny, and kids are very honest with their feedback as well. I do appreciate you being nice if there's an act on stage that isn't working necessarily.
I'm always that person that makes sure that when they catch my eye, I'm smiling and I'm like, you're doing great, sweetie.
Well, I did, I try to be, I think I'm quite a good audience member for stand-up comedians. So I used to watch a lot of comedy before I did stand-up comedy, and I like giving a good laugh and making the comedian feel comfortable, because it's infectious as well, right? So if somebody's laughing, it kind of carries on. That's why if it's not going well, it's not going to go well.
It's just silence, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brutal. It's the worst sound for a comedian is silence. But
I
went to the first year I went up to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, because I go up every August. I go up to the Fringe in. Have you ever been to?
No, you're gonna have to let me know the places to go for good comedy.
Okay.
Because I love comedy, but I just don't think I've ever really explored outside of Cardiff.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, Cardiff's great for it because it's obviously got the Glee Club there. It's a full-time comedy club. There's lots of other fun shows around the city as well. But Edinburgh Fringe Festival is it's the biggest arts festival in the world, right? So it's comedy, music, everything. And comedy's kind of taken over it a little bit. But you've got thousands of shows going every day for the whole month. Okay. And the first year I went up, because there was so much comedy and I'd never been, and obviously I'd moved over from Spain a few years previously, hadn't really heard of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. We don't talk about it in Mallorca,
Yeah, do people in Mallorca know where Edinburgh is?
Everyone in Spain assumes that everywhere in the UK is next to London, and I'm not exaggerating. So trying to explain to them where Wales is, they're like, what is that? And then you have to be like, Gareth Bale. And they're like, Gareth Bale, But but the first year I went to the Fringe Festival, I thought it was a comedy festival, right? Okay. So a couple of people flyed us for a show. A group of women came over to my friend Phil and I, and they were like, come see our show. And we thought, yeah, great. We were like, we don't have much money, we're like struggling comedians ourselves. And they were like, no, free tickets. We just need to fill the venue up and stuff. It's a big theater. We said, all right. Went along to this show. It was a Chekhov play, which is super serious about the Russian depression era, all this sort of stuff. I had no idea what we were getting in for.
Oh, no.
Phil and I assumed it was a comedy show because we think it's a comedy festival. So about 15 minutes into this performance, I leant over to Phil because it's been deathly silent.
Minutes?
Yeah, and I went, they're dying, because I thought it was a comedy show and nobody's laughing.
No one was laughing.
So Phil and I started trying to laugh
you
to
didn't
help.
Start laughing.
I was trying to help, I was like, let's get people involved, ha ha. And everyone's giving us daggers and the acts on stage, you can tell they're like, what the fuck's so funny? What's happened? Have my trousers fallen down? Why? At the end of the show, we kind of came out. And the girls came over to us and we were like, great show. And they were like, what the fuck was your problem? We were like, well, we're trying to help, get the laughter up and running.
Oh my God, I'm mortified for you. Oh my God, that's my worst nightmare.
It's a pretty hard lesson to learn that it's not just a comedy festival.
Shit, man. That's awful.
Always read the flyer intently.
Read the small print.
Yeah.
God's sake. Oh, that's awful. One of the best comedians I actually watched was in Birmingham watching Kevin Hart.
Oh, incredible. Yeah, what did you watch? He must have been doing an arena show there.
Yeah, it was.
Or something?
I can't remember what tour it was. Was it? What was the name of it? No, I can't remember what the name of it was. But it was insane. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, watching Kevin Hart live was really cool.
He travels with he brings over 3 support acts and stuff as well, which is great because these comics wouldn't gig in the UK otherwise unless they come over with.
I actually don't think he had anyone that time because it was such a big. It was in the NEC?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
he must have been building up to his special or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they usually when American.
I think they filmed that one.
Oh right.
Yeah. Cool. Because I think I remember them watching it and being like, I was in the audience there. Wow. Yeah, that was really cool. So I've seen Kevin Hart, Jack Whitehall. I feel like I've seen somebody else as well. But yeah, I love comedy.
Have you, because obviously that interaction we had at the Glee Club, you were in the front row. Have you ever been chatted to before in the front row at any gig?
No, I don't think so.
You haven't sat in the front row
No, we've never sat in the front, yeah. That's it. But as soon as we did, obviously, I mean, also, whenever I have my arms out, someone's like, the fuck do you do? So yeah, it's It's always like you can't really hide. Like we can't hide. Like he's a big guy.
You're both tall, both good looking, athletic. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Tom called him Boohoo for the rest of the evening, then didn't he? So yeah.
I do, because when I was looking out, I was like, I thought, are they shooting a Marvel movie in Cardiff or something?
Is
they like
size of this fucking pair?
Stunt doubles or whatever. It was cool.
Yeah, I know. Even just like walking through town, I forget because I'm always around athletes. I do forget, and then when I'm walking around a public place and people are kind of like side eyeing me, I'm like, so what's that fucking problem? And I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, got it.
Like, what's all these little people doing around?
I know. Fucking
munchkins with this Wizard of Oz shit in Cardiff.
Do you know what? My mum's actually tiny, so we always used to call her a hobbit. Yeah, she's like 5'3".
I was telling Josie this. I'm the shortest member of my family.
Are you?
Because in Spain, all my cousins, everyone, they're all basketball players, right? So I'm 6'1", which isn't short, but in Spain, all my family much taller than me. Okay. So I like coming to Wales and being like, I'm actually quite tall over here, right? It's quite fun. It's quite nice. I mean, you've accomplished a lot. Double champion in the shot put, smashing it, Welsh bobsled. Who would have thought? Is there something that you're most proud of? There's something that you kind of think of, like, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah, I think I've always not really known what to answer for this question because I'm so proud of everything that I've achieved to date, but I genuinely think like my proudest moments are when I've dragged myself out of the dirt, when I'm in a low place, because sport is such a volatile career. You could be up one day and down the next, and I've had some tough times where I've not performed very well. But actually, probably, I know I touched on being injured this season. The mental battle that it's taken, like I've won medals. I've won World Cup medals. I've won British Championships medals, Europa Cup medals. And although I've been extremely proud of them because it takes a lot of work and discipline to win medals on that stage, being injured and staying mentally resilient enough to really hold that self-belief that you're going to come back and you're going to do the work that's necessary to be back where you belong. That's something I'm really proud of. And I think the way that I handled a lot of life stress this year and my humility is something that I'm really proud of.
That's great. Well, it's nice to hear that, because rather than just like listing off a bunch of accolades and stuff you've accomplished, it's like, this is the grit, the true stuff that pulls you out.
I love sport, and it is, people always say, oh, how, it can't be your identity. I choose for it to be part of my identity. I fucking love sport, and it's who I am, and I love winning.
Yeah.
I love pushing myself. I love challenging myself. But I know that when I retire, I'll be fine, because I've invested so much time and energy into loving the life that I have and the people that I have in my life as well. So I think being a good human being is something that I think people should strive for, rather than just being a good athlete.
That's great. That's everyone listening and watching. Everyone who's considering. Yeah, don't be a prick. What's wrong with you? Train hard, but be a good person as well, okay? You have to. I think that's something you have to train at as well. Like you're saying, you have to work on being a good person.
Oh, yeah, because you can imagine in sport as well, like, especially some journalists, they'll say certain things, and I've got this new tactic now where I think that if somebody says something to me that they know is like almost like they're digging, or they're asking me
to push a button or whatever,
I'll just turn it around on them. I'll be like, that's a really strange question to ask. Are you trying to upset me?
Josie, which upsetting questions do we have lined up next? I want to know.
It's I think being 100% comfortable and confident that you know what you stand for, like knowing your values as a human being is so important, especially in sport when times get tough.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because like you're saying, a journalist trying to push your button or trying to kind of get you to react in a way. It's the same as hecklers, you get sort of gigs where people are sort of like, oh, I'm going to show everyone, like, let's really test them and stuff, heckle. And the thing is, pretty early on, I learned it's kind of just water off a duck's back now. I don't really care about that. I don't care what one asshole in the crowd thinks.
Who's trying to be clever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And also, my worst gigs are behind me, so it doesn't matter how a gig's going. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm going to clock off at the end of the show, and I'm going to be just fine with how this went.
And also, there's something that I feel like would be relevant for you, which I love. It's the quote about, do you know the one about the man in the arena?
No.
Oh, you'll have to search it, because I'll probably murder it if I try and say it word for word. But essentially, it talks about being the man in the arena and the man on the stage is any day, even if you're failing, better than being the man in the stands who's afraid.
Sure.
And like, I would love that if next time you get heckled, you think, fuck you, because I'm the man in the arena.
Yeah, I think that on my first arena tour in 2029 or whatever we get.
Just think
Maybe.
to yourself, what would Adele do?
With obviously your name is Adele. You were born before Adele became the famous singer.
Yeah.
Did that have any kind of impact?
Do you know what? Fun fact, not everybody knows this because I always introduce myself as Adele, but I don't know if you'll notice there's an accent over the E in my name. So my name's actually Adelé.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
my mum and dad visited a village in Crete years and years and years ago before I was born. I think maybe when they got married, and it was called Adelé.
Yeah.
So yeah, my name's Adelé.
That's wicked. That's a kind of cool. Well, that's a nice fact. We didn't know that, and now we do. So when people are cheering you on in the stands, get it right. Do you get? I mean, obviously there's fans of athletics and stuff like that. Is there like a community of fans who sort of write you letters and like have autographs and stuff for you and things?
Yeah, when you're at the bobsleigh track, you'll have people that have books of photos and they'll come and ask you to sign them. And it always cracks me up because I'll be turning, they'll have loads of photos of you. I'll be turning the pages of the photos and all of a sudden I'll find one of me from Instagram in a bikini. And I'm like, shit, is that what I post publicly? You forget who's watching.
Are they printing these themselves, by the way? Oh, right. I thought you meant like it was like you
no,
get
like my own book. No,
right.
no, they'll have got them off the internet and created a photo album and ask you to sign them.
Is that a photo of me through the curtains? Am I there? What on earth?
Have you seen the series?
Cooking my own burgers or something? Yeah.
Have you seen the series You?
Yes. Yeah. Super creepy.
Yeah. No. Oh God.
Oh wow. All right. That's kind of I mean, it's cool that they've come out with their own printed sort of stuff. But then if you flip back, makes you question what you're putting out there.
Also, I was in Germany at a race last season, and I crossed the line. And when you cross the line, everything is quite like blurred. Like there's a big crowd. It's white because it's snowing, and there's all the data up on the screen. And I'm half the time I haven't got a clue what I've done when I've crossed the line because so much is going on. And I just vividly remember seeing this couple and thinking, what the hell are you doing here? They had a Welsh bucket hat on and a Welsh flag. And I'm like, what? Like, we do bobsleigh in the weirdest fucking places. Like, why are you here?
Yeah.
And I was so intrigued. After my race, I had done all my official stuff and I went to find them.
Yeah.
And I stood by them and I chatted to them for a little bit.
Nice.
They were the wife was actually from Cardiff and the husband was German.
Oh,
and
wow.
bobsleigh's a big German sport.
Of course.
Yeah. So
that's cool. That's nice. You're spotting the Welsh bucket hats in the crowd.
And I knew they were for me because there's no other Welsh person doing bobsleigh right now.
It's fun because everywhere I go in the world performing, as soon as I say like my mom's Welsh, there's always at least one Welsh person in the crowd, and it's nice that you can bond with them over that and chat to them after. And they're laughing the hardest at the jokes I do, taking the piss out of Wales because they get it, and they're not.
If you ever are in New York, go to a bar called New York Welsh.
New York Welsh.
Because it's one of my friends who is from Tembe has business in New York, but his wife is from New York. And I went over there and he said, you've got to go visit our bar. So I went there and there's a picture of me on the wall in a bar in New York.
In a bikini for some reason.
Cooking burgers. Oh my God. Yeah.
That's cool.
So you'll have to go.
All right. So as well as sport, as well as starting out doing psychology and doing a master's and everything like that, is there? You said you do talks as well. Mm-hmm. What kind of talks are you doing, and are they motivational, or what kind of thing do you do?
Yeah, I think that I just like sharing my story, and I'm big on transparency. I'm quite an open book. I will tell you a lot about me if you want to know a lot about me, and I try and share the human side of me, because I think there's so much filtered shit in society now, like especially with females as well online. Like they're all trying to maybe live up to societal norms of, this is how you need to be an influencer, this, that and the other. And I just think sometimes people just really need to hear like raw emotions, raw stories. So it really depends on what I'm getting booked for. Like, of course, if I'm going to be doing like a talk to adults or a talk to school children, it'll be a different angle, and I'll share different stories. And I've been through so many different trials and tribulations so far in my life. Even though I'm only 28, I feel like I've had a roller coaster so far.
I think it's because it's everything in sports, especially as well, is very condensed.
Yeah.
It's like you have to pack all of this stuff in while you can.
It's high pressure as well, which always tests your character. And I'll just create the right workshop for the environment. So I'll do corporate talks where I talk about yielding successful business. And I feel like being a sports person, you know how to yield success, and it doesn't matter what environment that is. It's the same mindset and the same skills.
Sure.
And obviously with my master's degree in psychology, I can bring like an organizational psychology perspective where I will be able to implement skill sets that work for me in my pressured environment and tell the business people in the room how they could take that into their business. So I enjoy that side of things. But I get booked for a lot of school events just to motivate the children, even if it's just sports days, awards evenings, anything like that. I really enjoy public speaking. I've done a lot of panel talks as well for women in sport, or women in industries. For Ministry of Defence, I've done like Commonwealth government stuff. So it really depends. Like I feel like I'm very down to earth, so I can fit in most environments, but I'm educated and I'm socially aware enough to be in formal environments and speak properly too.
Yeah, sure. I know, I totally understand that aspect. And you also, it's so cool that you're doing the kids ones, and to all of these different avenues. I think it's also important to be like, you can be a little girl from Welshpool, and you can grow up and do all of this fun, cool stuff, and work hard and achieve and accomplish something.
Yeah.
And that's important to see people like themselves and go, oh wow, Welshpool putting it on the map, or anywhere.
Honestly, I love it because there isn't too much going on in the town that's different. Like people are really happy with their routines, and I love that. I love going home. There's nothing quite like going back to Welshpool for the weekend. But I think it's really cool for the generation that are below me to see like where I'm going, who I'm meeting, like doing cool shit like this. Like it gives them hope. Yeah,
well, I mean, you have to just be told sometimes this is possible. You can you don't have to do the same as everyone else. You can go do something a little bit interesting.
And I really thank my parents for that, because one of my favourite quotes, I actually have part of it tattooed onto me. My nana, she absolutely loved Welsh poems, and she lived till she was 101.
Wow.
Yeah. So before she could like not write anymore, I asked her to write down her favourite poem, and I've still got it on a piece of paper. And it's and she's like the Welsh bloodline.
Is it a dirty limerick? 101. She doesn't give a shit anymore.
No, you know what? She was a flirt. Especially so she had a fall one time. It was on Gas and Air, and she was being so inappropriate. I was like, oh my god, this is disgusting. But no, the poem that she wrote down was very PG, and it was, again, I don't want to murder it, but I know the one line that's on me. Being born Welsh is to be born privileged, and not with a silver spoon in your mouth, but it goes on to say, but with music in your heart and like love and music and things in your soul. And it's just such a lovely short poem that really brings me back to my roots. And honestly, my parents have brought me up in a way that I've been respectful and appreciate everything that I have. And I've been spoilt with the amount that they've invested into me in terms of like their support, and told me to now, you can do what you want. And my mum always said, it's a long life, do something you love, which is why I fucking love comedians as well. Because what a cool life. And you're also just pursuing something that you love.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it wasn't with a silver spoon. Like we weren't super rich. We didn't have the best of the best. I'm from Welshpool, very like down to earth little town in mid Wales. So I'm really proud of where I come from, and hopefully what I'm doing for the next generation there.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited to see what you're going to do next, because it's been an eclectic life you've lived so far. Accomplished lots.
We're less than 200 days away from the Winter Olympics now.
Oh shit! I mean, I'm 3 days away from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. That's like our Olympics.
Oh, that's
so it's kind of
this week.
Yeah, getting up and getting ready.
I would 100%. I'd have found some last minute tickets, but I've got the British Champs this weekend.
I was going to say it's going to clash with most, because it's in the summer every year as well. Yeah. You're always going to be doing something sport related. Let me know if there's
anything else in this summer that's like pretty big or good, because I'll be there.
There'll be comedy around. Yeah, there will be comedy around.
I need to do something before I go away and have my head in work mode.
When is it? When you set off?
So I'll be going away. I've got a training camp in September. But my birthday weekend is the 28th of September, and I'm home for that week.
Cool.
And then I go mid-October until March.
Okay, great.
So I've got like August and a few weeks in September.
When you say mid-October, what date?
I will be going in, I think, the 14th of October.
Okay.
So.
Right. I'll tell you when we end the podcast. I got a couple of shows coming up, might be interesting for you. Okay, great. Is there anything I've missed out? Anything I need to? Plugs, covered everything. Yes, been good. Yes, book Adelé.
Yes, please, because people always assume that professional athletes are minted. Like, we're called F1 on ice, but we're the fucking poor version. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to spend a lot of money, and it's not that we're living lavish.
Also, people assume that sports people are thick as shit, right? That's one of the things.
They
do
do.
assume.
I promise I'm not doing this shit. Like, like.
She got a master's in psychology, for Christ's sake.
Bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, book
I'm
Adelé.
educated, bitch.
That's how she opens all of her kids' speeches. Book Adelé for all public speaking inquiries. Also, get in touch with her. Motivational,
That might be my new
consultancy.
slogan. I'm
educated,
educated,
bitch. I want to see that on the side of the bobsled. I think that would be a good look.
Oh, amazing.
That's going to be the tag for the episode, that's for sure.
Thank you so much.
That was Adelé Nicoll. Give her a follow on social media, give her some support, and hopefully she brings home some medals. Catch you next Monday. Thank you for listening. Gracias. Diolch yn fawr. Side Gig is a presentation of Comedy Sheep, produced by Ignacio Lopez for Comedy Sheep and Josie Fortuna of Pigeon Talk Comedy.